with you today about how you can free yourself in the context of your business or your profession. So my presentation actually is audience participation, so I need you guys to look alive because I only have 15 seconds per slide, as you know. So what is this? Call out your answers.
A duck.
Is it a duck? And it's a rabbit. It's a duck and a rabbit. What? One picture, duck, and little bunny rabbit. One picture, two different meanings. So now here's another one for you. What is this a picture of? A person. It is a face, but also it's the word liar. A man's face and the word liar. I'm not making a statement here, I just thought it was a cool illusion. But the point here is one picture, two meanings. So, oh, that came up kind of fast. All right, anyway. So the learning here is, if you want to see something different, then change your perspective. And similarly, if you want to free yourself, then change your thinking. And that's what we're going to talk about. So here's an example of someone who did just that. How would you feel if you ran a business and you had less than 40% of what your competitors had to get the same results? So Billy Beane was the GM of the Oakland A's, and that was the position he was in when he had to compete with the Yanks and the Red Sox. We all know how good the Yanks are, right? So he had to figure out a way to compete with them with less money. So what he did was he said, well, let's rethink how we draft players. He evaluated statistics over a period of years and found that there were a couple of statistics people didn't use to pick players, but they were predictors of overall performance. And in doing that, he ended up being able to draft a great team for 40% of the price of what the other teams were spending. So the learning from Billy Beane is, when you free yourself, when you think differently about how you do things in your business. When you do that, you create opportunities or you overcome obstacles like a low budget. Now, if you run a strategy consulting firm, big top-tier firms, you have customers like GE and IBM, and you sell basically intellectual capital, so you have to get the best. You have to hire the best and train the best and spend a lot of money doing that. But even so, after a couple of years of that investment, those same people quit and go off and work at big companies like your client companies. One firm tried to control people and say, you can't go, threaten, contracts. The other firm said, do what you want to do, we'll even set up meetings. Ultimately, firm number two was the firm that not only grew its business by having former employees become future customers, but they actually end up retaining more people, interestingly enough. So you free yourself when you focus, don't spend time and energy on what you can't control. What's that center character? 13. It is 13. What else is it? A big. Depending on the perspective you look at this, the way you look at this picture, you're either going to see a 13 by looking vertically or a B by looking horizontally. Just to beat a dead horse on this point here. Imagine that you're the owner of a yoga studio, and you hear that a big gym is opening up around the corner from your studio, and it's going to have this huge yoga room with a panoramic view of the city. What would you do? Would you panic and go get a new space so that you can compete and make sure your clients don't leave? Or would you be confident with the knowledge that you're providing an experience that these people can't get at a gym? You're not giving them exercise or a workout, you're giving them a yoga experience. Unfortunately, in this real case, what happened was the owner did panic and spent tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars getting a new space, only to find out that in the gym, the yoga studio was small and windowless. But that's not the point. The point is, you free yourself when you change your thinking about how you define your business. If she realized that she was providing a different experience than what people could get in the gym, she would not have been so stressed. Okay, 9 dots. This is a tough one to do in public here, but imagine trying to connect all 9 of these dots with 4 or fewer lines, so you can't lift your paper from the pencil. Pencil from the paper. This is a tough one to do in live, but nonetheless, that's how you would do it. The reason that puzzle's so hard, besides the fact that I gave you 3 seconds to solve it, is that your mind puts up an artificial boundary around those dots in the form of a square. So when your mind creates boundaries to provide structure, you can sometimes limit your thinking. Well, these people didn't do that. So one man here had to move 4 times in 6 years to support his wife, and every time he had to get a new job. Another woman wanted to travel the world, but she only had 2 weeks a year to do it. So they developed businesses that would allow them to work anywhere. Rob Walling took his software writer's skills and developed a reselling business. And Nora Dunn quit her job, sold everything, started traveling, and then realized she could make money by writing about it. Those are location-independent professionals. That's actually the website address, locationindependentprofessionals.com. And these are people who freed themselves by thinking anything was possible. How do you create a business that you can do from anywhere? So you can travel the world, you don't have to look for a new job every year and a half or what have you. So in this very, very quick 5 minutes, I hope I gave you at least one way to think differently about your life and your business. I'll be tweeting each of these statements next week. Notice the character count. This is the Twitter connection. If you follow me at @PearlAdvisory, I'll remind you next week about how to free yourself by changing your thinking.